But it's not an easy because you look at over 22 seasons, he's been phenomenal. But I'm going to say no. I think he's had an unbelievable career, but what keeps me from saying no is the lack of individual accomplishments. I look at a guy like Wayne Gretzky, the great one. He won 9 MVPs. He won 8 in a row. He won 4 titles. He led the league in scoring 5 times. He led the league in assists 16 times. Jordan, 6 MVPs, finished in the top 3 10 times, 10 times first team All-NBA. LeBron, 4 MVPs, finished in the top 3 in MVP voting 11 times, 13 times he was first team All-NBA. Brady has only been first team All-Pro 3 times in 22 seasons. And that was the seasons in which he won the MVP.
Yep.
And so for me, Skip, it's hard to argue, but I didn't really put a whole lot of, like, Gretzky was the only one that I mentioned the titles, because I believe titles is a team. But when we're talking about the greatest, like, individual, I look at MVPs, first team, All-NBA, All-Pro. Obviously, hockey doesn't have that. They just have the MVP and things of that nature. So for me, Skip, I'm going to say no. I think maybe if you want to talk about team success, he and Russell, I think it's harder to win in the NFL than any other league, Skip, because guess what? It's final. It ain't no series. I mean, who knows what would happen if Buffalo played, if Buffalo in KC.
Yep.
Skip, if they had a 7-game series, who knows what would happen? Who knows what would happen with the Rams in Tampa? Who knows what would happen with everything that happened? Everything was walk-off this week.
Yep.
What would happen? Basketball, it's hard to beat somebody. You know you're the best if I beat you 4 out of 7 times, Skip. Ain't no doubt. I can't get lucky, Skip. Ain't no walk-off shot. You ain't hitting no 4 walk-off shots in a series. So for me, Skip, I'm going to say no. I put Gretzky, I put Jordan, I put LeBron. If you wanted to put, I don't know, can we do individual sports and say Tiger? Probably not, because Tiger is an individual sport and it's all about him, no team. So I stuck to team sports and I said Gretzky, Jordan, LeBron.
You just won't give it a rest. As this man fades into the sunset, you are dancing on his grave.
No, that's what you want me to do, Skip. You said you didn't want. He said he didn't want no farewell tour, so I got to keep it going.
Okay. This is just me, and maybe I'm caught up in the emotional moment. But I got to tell you, this is one that ain't even close. I give you Gretzky. I'll even give you LeBron's longevity and all that he's accomplished over time. But I'm the biggest Jordan fan there ever was, and I have come to grips with the fact that Brady has eclipsed him just on sheer duration of greatness. It's after a while, I know he went to 6 finals and won 6 MVPs, but Brady has 7 Super Bowls. And when you look at the achievements tied to each one, he won the first 6 in New England with 6 game-winning drives in the fourth quarter overtime. That's preposterously great. And then he wins a 7th after choosing to go, shocking all of us, to Tampa Bay? Really? The Succaneers? The franchise that had the losingest record over its lifetime of any franchise in sports.
Right.
The lowest winning percentage in all of sports. He goes to the Succaneers, who were 7-9 the year before, in the middle of a pandemic, brand new team, brand new coach, while playing on a torn MCL, not the hardest thing to do because it's ACL, it's the one.
Right.
The MCL you can sort of get away with.
Yeah,
a lot of people don't even get them fixed.
I just watched Francis Ngannou.
Okay.
Unified a heavyweight title with a torn MCL in UFC.
Okay, but Brady did do that. And he lifted the Succaneers to a Super Bowl in their first go-around together. That's just impossibly great. And then this year, at age 44, Pro Football Focus says that he was far and away the winner of the MVP race, statistically, and in grading him from game to game. And all he did in his swan song game was score 24 unanswered points on the Rams. He got help from his defense, and he got help from the Rams. I give you that. 2 unforced errors by the Rams and 2 forced errors by the Bucs. I give you that. But he kept cashing and scored 24 unanswered points in the second half, threw for 125 yards in the fourth quarter with one hand tied behind his back because he didn't have Godwin and AB and Cyril Grayson and Bashard Perriman. And he didn't have his right tackle. And they were down to their third string right tackle, who happened to be the backup undrafted free agent rookie guard. And it was hard because they're up against the fiercest pass rush in pro football. And he got them all the way back to 27 all. And that's the way, I fear, it ended for him. But that's pretty great. So my point to you is, even I look back, and you disagree with this, but I say that first Eli Super Bowl, Belichick's defense let him down. You can say, well, won him a lot of games too. I give you that. But when push came to shove, Brady drove on the New York Football Giants 65 yards for a touchdown, hit Randy Moss with a little touchdown pass that made it 14-10 with 2 minutes left in the first Eli Super Bowl. And what happened? Belichick's defense allowed Eli to go 75 yards, not for a field goal. They needed a touchdown, and they got a touchdown to win the game 17-14. And then in the Eagles Super Bowl, it was just a debacle of a disaster. How can you give up 41 points to Nick Foles, the backup quarterback, and Brady threw for an all-time playoff record in that Super Bowl, 505 yards, put up 33, and lost 41-33, while Malcolm Butler was mysteriously, inexplicably benched.
Right.
I don't get it. But those two, I believe Belichick cost Brady 2 more Super Bowls.
And plus the thing, Skip, I didn't even list any baseball players. Because, I mean, it's just so hard if you start throwing in Babe Ruth with the MVPs and all this. So I just stuck to the sports that, obviously I probably should have went to baseball. Do you believe Brady was a better player in football than Barry Bonds was at baseball?
He just achieved more. And again, what jars your psyche is when you think of Tom Brady running the ugliest 40 ever at the Combine, it's hard for you to compute the fact that guy had the greatest career ever. Well, he's not a poor athlete. He's a pretty good athlete because he did get drafted by Montreal to play baseball.
Right.
But
and he probably could play. He probably shot hoops in high school.
I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know if I can go there. But I can go to baseball, and I can definitely go to football. He played this position with his mind and his body and his feet, obviously, and his accuracy, and had above average arm strength, obviously, and it never waned to me. But he kept doing it in the clutch so many times that he was 35-12 in playoff games. That's just, you know how hard it is.
Yeah, you're probably not going to ever see that again.
No, you're just not going to see it.
Not that accumulation.
And all we knew is that if he ever got the ball back with a minute left, you're just saying, okay.
Right.
And I saw him in an AFC Championship game at Mahomes. We're going to talk about, are they going to change the overtime rule? Well, this was the classic one. And he gets pushed back 3 straight times facing 3rd and 10 in overtime. And he goes to Edelman, and he goes to Edelman, and he goes to Gronk. And all of a sudden, they drive it all the way down the field and score because he converted 3 straight 3rd and 10s. You want to talk about all-time clutch? I mean, the clutchness is beyond Jordan only because he did it so many more times than Jordan did. Yeah.
Well, I think that's the thing, Skip, is that you look at the longevity in which he played. And like I said, it's just hard because I just think that we say receiver is a dependent position, but the quarterback is the most dependent position in football because you're dependent on the offensive line, you're dependent on your guys to catch the football, you're dependent on the running back. So that's the most dependent, not wide receiver. We got to stop that saying wide receiver is a dependent position. No position is more dependent than the quarterback.
Okay. But yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
But Skip,
okay, but to finish up your point, I get what you're saying. Look, I covered Barry Bonds.
Right.
I know.
Right.
He was the greatest player I ever saw because he was the greatest hitter I ever saw, and he won Gold Gloves in Pittsburgh. What did he win? 8?
8.
Yeah, 8 Gold Gloves. Well, stop it.
Right.
He was freakish. He's never, and I get the steroid accusation. I get all that, but I don't even care.
Even before that.
Way before that. Greatest I ever saw was Barry Bonds. So if I do vacuum Barry Bonds and Tom Brady, by the way, they went to the same high school.
Right. San Mateo. Huh?
Yeah. What's that?
San Mateo.
In San Mateo, it's brother. I can't remember what it was, but they went to the same one. Yeah, same Catholic high school. Okay, but the point is, if I go vacuum Barry Bonds, vacuum Tom Brady, I'm like laughing at Tom Brady because you don't belong in the same sentence with him. Right. Wayne Gretzky versus Tom Brady on athletic. No. It's Gretzky.
Right.
I get this. Achievements, clutch achievements. There's never been anything like this.
Yeah, I don't. But see, I mean. Yeah, Skip. I mean, it's close. I mean, you're splitting hairs, but I think because the lack, and I say, I'm just basically not, and Skip, if we just like, okay, winner, it's hard to say Brady isn't the greatest winner.
Okay.
I might say, I might even take him over Mr. Russell for the simple fact, Skip, he has like a game 7. Well, you lose in the playoff, you lose one game. There is no game 7. Mm-hmm. There is no tomorrow. Mm-hmm. The finality of it, and I don't believe you're ever going to see, because the most games you can play in a football playoff season is 4. If you're the wild card, you'll play 4 games.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
So you get in basketball, Skip. I mean, I get 4 chances at you. You get 1, and it's over. And he's
over.
What'd you say, 35-12?
Yep.
Nobody's ever going to play that many playoff games again.
No, they're not.
No, it's not going to happen. All those yards he has, all that. I mean, some of those numbers, Skip, I don't know. I mean, these guys are getting an earlier start now with that extra game, Skip. That's going to help, because that's going to be an extra 2 to 3 touchdowns. You project that over, 15 years.
Yep.
But he had an unbelievable career, Skip. But it's, like I said, if he'd had like 5 or 6 first-team All-Pros.
No. Well, see, he's the flip side of Aaron Rodgers, because he transcended in the postseason as opposed to the regular season.
Correct.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.